So we have arrived in Krakow and it is an absolutely beautiful but very, very hot day. We have just dropped our things off at the hotel and we've decided that we're going to spend the first part of our day exploring the old town. Arrived in Krakow's main square. This is apparently the largest square in Europe and it is the centre of the old town where so many different things are going on. There are loads of cafes and restaurants all around the outside. There's a big cloth hall just on our left, which apparently was built in the Renaissance, and it was the oldest shopping centre in the world.
Actually?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I read that earlier.
Yeah.
We're just walking towards St Mary's Basilica, which is right in front of us, and Jack has learnt an interesting story about this church.
I have. So it goes down to a legend of two brothers where basically they were trying to build a tower to outcompete each other, and one of them, I think the older brother, built the tallest tower compared to the younger one. And then out of jealousy, the younger brother decided to stab him with a knife. So obviously he died. Then out of remorse, the younger brother then stabbed himself with the knife and threw himself off his tower.
We're going to head inside the cloth hall now. I think we're going to see if we can find some souvenirs.
And grab a beer.
And grab a beer.
We've just left the old square and now we're heading off to Krakow University, which is one of the oldest universities in Europe. It's actually where Copernicus studied and lectured, so it's got quite a bit of history to it. The architecture is actually similar to Juliet's house in Verona.
So we have just had our lunch and we've come out to Kazimierz, which is Krakow's Jewish quarter. This place is made particularly famous by Schindler's factory and obviously the proximity to Auschwitz. There are a lot of memorials here. And we're just heading into the main square now, so there's a big synagogue to my left and lots of little cafes. I will show you around and see what there is here. We're now just walking through towards Schindler's factory. We've noticed that along with all the historical sites and memorials and things like that, it also appears to be quite a young, lively area. So there are lots of cafes, lots of street art, and there's like food trucks. So literally, as I say that, we're walking past. Looks like loads of street food stalls. So it appears that this is the place to be. So we are now in Factory Park, which is the name for the area here on the other side of the river. Apparently this part of Krakow is known by the locals as behind the mud, because in the 19th and 20th century this was all industrial land full of different sorts of factories, the most famous of which is obviously Schindler's factory, which is just up here on our left hand side, but there are also numerous other factories. There's a sugar factory, an enamel factory. In this building behind me we also have the Museum of Contemporary Modern Art, which is right next to Schindler's factory.
Good morning.
Cool. Good morning. It is day 2 in Krakow and we've headed out on the bus to Wieliczka, which is the salt mine. We took bus 304 from the city centre, and it was about an hour on the bus to the salt mines, which we're just about to go into now.
Steps. Hello, you join us from 101 metres underground down, where we are in St.
Hilda's Chapel. She was the Hungarian princess who married one of the Polish kings.
It's really, really impressive in here. All of it is made up of salt, even the floor. You can actually get married in here as well. How did you find the mine?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Loads of different chambers. It's amazing what they've actually managed to do with the salt. But I'm quite pleased to be out above the surface now, to be honest, after that lift experience.
Well, it's really hot because down in the mine, we didn't actually tell you this, it's only 14 to 16 degrees, because that's the perfect condition for the salt. And up on the surface, about 30, so it's a bit of a difference and a bit of a shock to the system. We're already feeling a bit sweaty. But yeah, I think the one's plan is now. I think the plan might be to head back to the town, head back to Krakow.
Have an ice cream.
Yeah, or two.
Yeah, or 2 or 3 or 4.
It's our final evening in Krakow, and we decided to spend that evening walking around the city, old city walls, around the park, which actually used to be the old city walls, and that's why it circulates the old town. So we decided to come out for a drink, and yeah, just enjoy our last evening here. It's a fantastic place. We've really enjoyed ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah, I feel like we will come back definitely again in the future.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Right, that's it from us. See you later.